Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. In the final race before Formula One's summer break, George Russell raised suspicions about the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, suggesting that the Italian team may have increased tire pressures during the last stint of the race. According to Russell, if true, such a move could have been aimed at reducing floor wear, but might also have created an undue advantage for Leclerc. Russell's reasoning was based on Leclerc's unusual performance curve throughout the weekend. On Saturday, the Monegasque driver delivered a superb lap to take pole position. At the start of the race, he showed strong pace, appearing capable of fighting for a podium. However, as the laps went by, Ferrari's performance faded significantly. By the closing stages, Leclerc was struggling to keep up, eventually losing a podium place to Russell himself. Given the sharp decline in Ferrari's pace, questions were raised about whether something irregular had taken place. This week, however, the FIA published the results of several random inspections carried out after the Hungarian Grand Prix. Among the cars checked were those of Leclerc, Russell, and Fernando Alonso. The governing body clarified that these inspections are standard random checks performed on cars finishing in the top 10. But in this case, extra attention was naturally focused on Leclerc's Ferrari following Russell's public remarks. The outcome was definitive. No irregularities were found in any of the 3 cars. Leclerc's Ferrari was cleared, confirming the driver's own post-race statements. Leclerc had explained that his loss of pace was caused by a chassis issue that worsened as the race went on. Additionally, Ferrari had been testing a new configuration on the rear suspension, which, according to the team, made the car's performance inconsistent and unpredictable. These combined factors, rather than any rule breaking, explain Leclerc's inability to maintain his early pace and his failure to return to the podium. The FIA's confirmation effectively put an end to speculation. Both Russell's Mercedes and Alonso's Aston Martin were also inspected and passed without issue. For the Hungarian Grand Prix, at least, there was no evidence of illegal modifications or rule violations among the cars examined. For Ferrari, however, the concerns are far from over. The team's performance swings continue to raise questions as the season unfolds. Despite flashes of speed, as seen in qualifying in Hungary, the Scuderia has struggled to convert strong grid positions into consistent race results. Reliability, car balance, and development direction remain ongoing issues. Mercedes, meanwhile, has taken encouragement from Russell's podium finish, though the team itself has also shown inconsistency across different circuits. With both Ferrari and Mercedes battling closely for second place in the Constructors' Championship, every technical decision and every upgrade could prove decisive. The gap between the two is narrow, and both are aware that small margins could tip the balance by the end of the season. As Formula One returns from the summer break at the Dutch Grand Prix, all eyes will once again be on Ferrari and Mercedes. For Ferrari, the challenge will be to regain stability and prove that Hungary's struggles were an isolated event. For Mercedes, the focus is on capitalizing on its opportunities to consistently finish ahead of its Italian rival. The FIA's inspection may have closed one chapter, but the broader battle for second place in the championship remains wide open. Whether Ferrari can overcome its technical gremlins or Mercedes can find the consistency it has been searching for will shape the outcome of the rest of the season. Who will drive for Red Bull next season? That remains one of the biggest questions heading into the final stretch of the year. While Max Verstappen's place in the team is unquestioned, the same cannot be said for his current teammate Yuki Tsunoda. After being promoted to the senior team at the Japanese Grand Prix earlier this year, Tsunoda has been given a strict deadline to prove he deserves to stay alongside the reigning world champion. According to reports, Red Bull's leadership has set the Mexican Grand Prix as the cutoff point for Tsunoda to deliver consistent results. By then, the team expects to have a clearer picture of his long-term potential. The message is straightforward. Tsunoda must significantly close the gap to Verstappen and demonstrate consistency if he wants to secure his place for next season. So far, Tsunoda's numbers have not been convincing. Since joining Red Bull, he has scored just 7 points and currently sits 18th in the Drivers' Championship. His performances have been underwhelming, drawing skepticism from within the team and recalling the struggles of other drivers who have failed to adapt quickly after being given a chance in the second Red Bull seat. Team principal Laurent Mekies has publicly defended Tsunoda, arguing that the Japanese driver has shown signs of progress and should be given more time to adapt. Mekies believes the step up from the junior team to Red Bull is one of the toughest transitions in Formula One, and that patience is essential for a fair evaluation. But within the organization, not everyone shares that view. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko has taken a harder stance, emphasizing that the team cannot afford extended patience if the results are not forthcoming. Marko was also quick to dismiss rumors linking the team with drivers outside of the Red Bull Academy, such as four-time IndyCar champion Alex Palou, reaffirming that the team remains committed to promoting from within its own pool of talent. This stance places additional pressure on Tsunoda, who has around 6 races to change the narrative. If he cannot meet the expectations set by Red Bull's management, the team is prepared to promote another young driver from its academy. Among the names mentioned is American prospect Zach O'Sullivan, who has been making waves in the junior categories and is viewed by some as a potential candidate for the seat. For Red Bull, the second driver's role remains one of the most difficult positions on the grid. Since Daniel Ricciardo's departure, no teammate has managed to consistently challenge Verstappen or deliver points at the same level, creating a revolving door of drivers struggling to adapt to the high-pressure environment. Tsunoda now finds himself in the same situation, tasked with proving he can succeed where others have failed. The decision will likely shape not only Red Bull's future, but also the trajectory of Tsunoda's career. If he secures the seat, it could cement his place in Formula One for the long term. If not, he risks becoming the latest in a line of drivers moved aside after failing to meet the team's demanding standards. With 6 races to go before the deadline, the spotlight will be firmly on Tsunoda. Every qualifying session, every strategy call, and every race finish will be scrutinized as Red Bull evaluates whether he can grow into the role. For the Japanese driver, the challenge is as much mental as it is technical, showing that he can handle the pressure of one of Formula One's most demanding teams. Cadillac continues to build its structure for its much-anticipated Formula One debut next season, and the American team has now officially announced the signing of Colton Herta. The 25-year-old American, one of IndyCar's brightest stars in recent years, has long been linked with Cadillac and was considered one of the management's preferred candidates for a future seat in Formula One. However, Herta will not be joining the team as a full-time race driver, at least not yet. For the upcoming season, Cadillac's main driver lineup remains Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez, who were confirmed earlier this year. Instead, Herta has been brought in as the team's official test and development driver. In this role, he will take part in simulator work, contribute to car development, and is also expected to appear in selected free practice sessions during the season. This move represents a significant step for Herta, who has made no secret of his ambition to compete in Formula One. Despite his success in IndyCar, where he has established himself as one of the most talented young drivers, the lack of a super license has so far prevented him from making the transition. By joining Cadillac's program, he now has a structured pathway to earn the necessary credentials and potentially secure a full-time F1 seat in the near future. Reports in recent weeks have also suggested that Herta could participate in Formula 2 next year as part of a parallel program. The goal would be to accumulate the super license points required for F1 eligibility while gaining experience in the European racing environment. Such a move would mirror strategies used by other drivers who successfully bridged the gap between junior categories and Formula One. Speaking about the announcement, Herta described the opportunity as an important milestone on the road toward his lifelong dream. "This is a big step toward Formula One," he said, expressing enthusiasm about joining Cadillac's project and contributing to the team's development efforts. While he acknowledged that he is not yet a race driver, he emphasized that the experience will be invaluable in preparing him for a future chance on the grid. Cadillac, for its part, explained that the details of Herta's program will be clarified in the coming weeks. Team management stressed that his addition is not just symbolic, but a key part of their plan to build a competitive operation from day one. With Herta involved in testing and simulator work, the team believes it can strengthen its technical base while also laying the groundwork for a potential American driver to represent the brand in Formula One. The choice of Herta also makes commercial sense. As an American team, Cadillac has made no secret of its desire to connect strongly with the U.S. fan base, and having a popular American driver in its structure aligns perfectly with that strategy. Even as a test driver, Herta's presence is likely to boost fan engagement and sponsor interest in the project. Still, questions remain about when, or if, Herta will get his chance as a full-time F1 driver. Both Bottas and Perez have signed multi-year deals, and while there is always the possibility of changes, Cadillac's immediate focus is on stability and experience in its debut season. For Herta, the path may depend on his performances in testing, his progress in earning the super license, and whether the team decides to make a switch in the coming years. For now, the announcement marks a crucial breakthrough. Herta is officially part of the Formula One world, and his dream of racing in the championship is closer than ever. Whether he remains in a supporting role or eventually replaces Bottas or Perez, his journey will be closely followed by fans in both the United States and around the globe.